30. We're 1 minute late.
Let me just lower this whole thing. Will this lower here?
It will lower at the legs.
Lower. We're going to start in a minute, guys.
We're having a little jiggle.
This is the behind the scenes.
Hugh adjusts those legs and I adjust my straps.
And then I sit down
and I adjust my notes.
Adjust my actual legs. That is wonky.
That is très wonky.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh no, it's flipped again. It's too late, isn't it?
Flipped.
Because we do this so infrequently, the camera's in selfie mode, so we're back to front.
Yep.
So this is backwards. So we're gonna have to do. We don't have anything text-based, do we? Photographic-based.
We've got photographs, but not text-based photographs. Just gonna have to live with it.
We're gonna have to live with it.
It says Disneyland backwards.
I was
Actually,
about to
no,
say,
we could actually
Disneyland.
do the back of the blanket and make it go forwards, but that's a bit much, don't you think?
Now, yes.
I'm gonna do it.
You can... He will be happier, guys.
Now, yes.
Sometimes you've just got to let him do these things because he'll sleep better tonight. And I just facilitate by sitting here and smiling and talking at
Wait, can
you.
you undo that clip, please?
My voice is rather scratchy today. I'm probably going to moan about this a bit more. No particular reason for it. I'm not ill. Just some days my voice goes like this through overuse or tiredness or whatever like that. So just bear with me. And if you're listening rather than watching, oh, you're in for a bumpy ride because I can squeak and scratch and whatnot with the rest of them. But this is a happier screen now, isn't it?
Oh,
Look.
that's so weird.
Now all we need...
backwards for us.
I know. Now we just need Hugh to turn his t-shirt inside out and nobody will be any the wiser.
Let's start the show.
Okay. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney. I'll wait till you bring some seat. All good, all good, all
Yes,
good.
yes,
Right, and break. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney pals, and welcome to another Disneyland Paris Show. I'm Lucy. These are the reins, because unfortunately we are Christless today. And being Christless means we are techless. And because we are techless, we've done things inside out. Because the first thing we usually do is our news. So let's do that. Bong.
Do not enter. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Bong. Past party perks. Bong.
Bong. Back to the cabin in the woods.
I was gonna sing before. Where are you, Christopher? What's the next line?
Why can't I
Find you. Why did you go away?
This is one of the reasons I fell in love with him because of
What is changing?
his falsetto. As like you'll see, it's quite a feature. Yeah, Chris, as you know, is rehearsing for a show at a local amateur dramatics group. So he is playing Nicely in Guys and Dolls. I personally think that's the best part in Guys and Dolls. Of all you, I'm looking at Bonnie. Bonnie's not seen it.
I don't know anything.
You've seen it. It's a good part. It's a good part. So enjoy that, Chris. We will miss you until you are back. Bonnie's rehearsing for a show at the moment. She's busy in Bugsy Malone, aren't you?
Yes.
I wonder if Chris is here because I just had to approve a comment. There was nothing wrong with the comment, but it said another moderator has already handled this. Is it Chris? Are you there, Chris?
Or is it
Where
the ghost of monitors past, perhaps?
Yeah. Do you know, it's such a shame because I'm wearing a Happy Father's Day to the fathers and the father figures. I am wearing a Darth Vader t-shirt, which Bonnie got me years and years ago, that says, I am your father, and it's backwards. It's not supposed to be backwards. And that's a bit of a shame, but never mind, you get the idea.
It's all right, because he walks into most rooms backwards, so it makes sense to us.
I do actually. No, I do, yeah, sometimes go the other way, because it feels more comfortable. Yeah.
What he's saying, this is actually a Disney tip, because he does this in switchback cues at Disney. If it hits the end, let's say you're turning left, and it hits the end of the row on his left foot, he finds it easier, the right foot, he finds it easier to step back on his
the left foot. Oh, it depends if I'm going left, though.
To do that, to go around the corner, rather than turn that way.
Yeah, rather than turn the wrong way, it's easy. Sometimes it's more comfortable to spin around. I do it in the kitchen as well, because it's just enough number of footsteps so that Anyway.
This is fascinating stuff. I'm not putting that on my Disney tips video. When in switchback queues, sometimes you can turn backwards. Anyway.
Should we see who's in the chat?
Let's see who's in the blooming chat.
On the ball, please.
The top note of that really got my ears.
Sorry. First in the chat today was Bonnie,
Oh, yeah.
who says simply first in the chat. Let me just switch it to all messages, not just top messages. Hate it when it does that. Don't make a difference though, because we don't have that many to make a difference. Second in the chat is Joey. Hey everybody, everyone. Oh, dear. Great start. Hope you've had a sunny weekend. Have we? We have.
Patchy. I'd say patchy.
Blustery.
Yeah.
My question today is, what is the best Disney-based dad joke that you know?
Dad joke.
Now, the thing about dad jokes is, a lot of people, now, this has become misinterpreted, and people just think a dad joke is just any joke told by a dad. But a dad joke is a specific type of joke that's really annoying.
Not very funny, but they think it's hilarious.
Like a famous example, it wasn't originally a dad joke, but it's a type of dad joke, is, you know, if you say, oh, I just flew in yesterday, and you'd say, oh, you flew in? Are your arms tired? That's a kind of a dad joke, isn't it? It's kind of a bit sarcastic, a bit literal.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Well, it's not a dad joke again, but I often say, as a dad, these are the jokes, kid, which is Mike Wazowski.
Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is a highly underrated attraction at Disney World. If you ever go to Disney World.
Some people say it's a one and done, but it's not, because it's different every time, so I don't know what to
We've
talk
done
about.
it multiple times on a single trip. Unfortunately, we didn't do it at all this time, did we?
No. You never get to do everything you're going to do. Same at Disneyland Paris, and you always say, no, we'll definitely we must do that, especially when, you know, we're going with a family with 2 young boys, and we didn't do it.
And I think one of the reasons
But
we
there's
didn't
lots
do
we
it
didn't do.
is because we thought they'd enjoy it. So when we were on our own, we're like, oh, should we do that? No, let's save it for when we're with them. And then when we're with them, stuff happens. People need toilets and stuff.
Happens.
Yeah.
Joey also says, mine is, why don't they let the Eiffel Tower into Disneyland Paris? Because it's always trying to rise above the castle.
I don't get that.
Why don't they let the Eiffel Tower into Disneyland Paris? Because it's always trying to rise above the castle. I don't get it either.
It's more just a statement of fact that it's, in which case it's probably a dad joke. That's fine. Good.
I don't get
Maybe Joey can expand. John says, hey guys, can't make the live show tonight, but we'll catch up tomorrow. Have a good show. Thanks, John, and enjoy listening today, as it will be to you.
Today.
But tomorrow to us. Emily says, Bonnie, not Lucy. I don't cope well with change.
I think she means the comment in the chat as opposed to the person on the screen.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Mickey Mouse's... Emily says, what's wrong with Mickey Mouse's helicopter? Disneyland. I'll start again. What's wrong with Mickey Mouse's helicopter? Disneyland. Land. Holidays with the Spence family say, hello all, happy Father's Day. And a little one of these little heart things made from 2 hands. Do you like this new way of doing it with the thumb and forefinger?
I'm not a fan.
It's a bit indistinct to me. It's discreet. I like it, but I prefer the 2-handed one. Personally.
This one's weird. This one.
What's that one?
It's like
just with with like peace fingers.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Jimmy says, "Hey, hi everyone," and Andrew is here. A joke for Joey. What is Donald Duck's favourite Agatha Christie novel? The mirror quacked from side to side. There you go. Hello to Jen. Hey Disney pals, says Jen. And Ruthie, hi everyone. Whoop whoop. Elle says, evening all, not made love for a while. That's why it was under review. It was a typo. And you'd written, not made love for a while. That's why we had to review it.
Yeah.
I get it now.
There's a bit of an overshare there.
And Mickey's is Mousetrap. Oh yeah, and Elle's elaborating on Andrew's joke. And Mickey's favourite book is Mousetrap, right?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Agatha Christie. Very good, very good. Lisa says, evening folks, hope it's been a great Father's Day for the Disney dads. And Ed says, hello, sorry I missed last week. Well, you should be, Ed, frankly. Looking forward to hearing more about the Florida trip. We'll get onto that later. We got voiceover Guy. or just Guy, if you like, evening team, and Julia, message retracted. And then also adds, hi all, 30 days till DLP for us. And Elle says,
So soon.
or Lawrence says, I'm so sorry. That's L/Lauren. But it's all right. We'll let you off. And also, I'm sorry for you too, if that was indeed true.
Well, thank you all for being here. And yes, people have asked me, we will be talking about Florida, as we already have, because we can't help it, because it's a very recent experience. However, we are aware this is the Disneyland Paris show, so we try and keep it kind of relevant and sparse.
There is a trip report.
Yes, we've got a trip report coming up. We've got bits of news. I've been looking at trip booking this week, so these guys don't necessarily know everything about that, so we might talk about that. But first of all, are you thirsty yet?
Always.
Bonnie, we're thirsty. Do you want to do a bit of waitressing?
Now, normally listeners, regular listeners will know there's a jingle at this point that goes all together.
Tiki, 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 tiki.
room, in the tiki room.
Guess what?
So,
Oh no, it's not that, is it? I'm just singing. It's tiki cup. Oh, what's this?
what's this, Bonnie?
Happy Father's Day.
cup. Thank you. What have we got here? We've got Old Hopkin Tiki pineapple and mango flavoured spirit drink, expertly crafted. And there's a kind of tropical blast to go with it. I just went into my office to go and get this, and I went, oh, the box is empty. I thought I had one more. And it's because you've raided it. But do I have this now?
Yeah, can I just tell you about this first? I mean, this is from Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Tiki, because she knows about that.
I used
But
my
obviously,
own ID.
Did you get ID?
I used my own ID.
now here's the story, because obviously she couldn't go get it. So I went to get it yesterday when getting her from dancing. I got ID'd. I'm 43. So then I went back again to get it today, which is why you didn't get it first thing with your card in bed. And then I got there too early and realised that Aldi didn't open at 10. And while I was sitting in the car park waiting for Aldi to open, I realised I still didn't have my ID and it might happen again. So I had to come back home.
Shouldn't you have your driver's licence on you at all times?
I should have my driving licence on me at all times. I'd only gone out with my phone and not my wallet, so bad on me.
Oops.
So I had to come back home and then make up some reason to you why I was going back out again.
Oh! That's what that was. You were back and forth a lot this morning.
I was.
Well,
you were doing shelving in the upstairs.
and what's
so you
this?
didn't have
And what's this receptacle?
Wow.
Wow. This is the icon of the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel in Disney
It's
World.
a vase.
It's, well,
A vase. I don't know.
if you watch our haul video, you'll know there's a little bit of a backstory about a domestic bicker in a shop. I'm going to let you watch the haul video for that.
Yes, Lucy uploaded a haul video.
All of a sudden the word haul felt weird. If you don't know what a haul video is, it's a video of everything we bought while we were in Disney World.
But this is the Maui. Maui god mascot from the Polynesian Village Resort to Disney.
It's hard to drink
Disney
out
World.
of because of the...
Well, there is a straw, and it's got like a teal lining on the inside. But I think you
It
could.
like...
I would drink out of this sideways, but it's very thin.
That's
look.
weird.
And then
Nah.
the headdress gets in the way.
I
That's why
believe
it's a vase.
I believe it's a better vase than it is a
Vase.
cup.
We're gonna use it as a. Are we gonna use it as a vase?
I think it would look nice with some like palm leaves coming out of
Well,
it.
it wouldn't fit much in it.
Couple of palm leaves.
What, like just fake ones?
I don't know.
We could put.
Don't know. We'll work it out later.
We could use it as a cup, and then, while I'm not using it, we could display it.
As soon as I went all the way home for my ID, I got myself a strawberry daiquiri while I was there. Bonnie, you are on the softies, aren't you?
Oh.
What are you drinking?
Cherries and berries.
Cherries and berries cordial.
You absolute hounds. Drinking your cherries and berries.
Well, I hope you're enjoying a nice beverage at home too. Shall we do some news?
Yes, let's do news.
Are we doing my one first, the donut one?
Donut
Donut enter.
enter. Or it was going to be like donut entry because now let me get it right. What are they calling this place? What used to be the Hepcap Cafe
Oh, I loved that place.
has reopened as a Searchlight Refreshments. So you know where this is, don't you? On the right as you go in, kind of, and it's part of Hollywood Gardens now.
In Disney Adventure World. Formerly Studios.
Disney World of Adventure. Yes, that place. Bonnie, where are photos on here?
At Disney Adventure World. Right?
Yeah. And the photos haven't gone over, so I'm gonna have to describe it to you. So they now do filled donuts in 5 different characters. I believe that one was Wilderness Donald. We had one that was kind of the plaid of Woody's.
Wilderness Donald.
Yeah, it was like green with a little fondant Donald on it. No, Wilderness Explorer Donald.
That's
But-
new.
For a donut?
Yeah,
As opposed to just a Donald donut.
yeah.
Why?
Don't know.
Do not know.
Donut no.
Don't know.
And then they had one that was like plaid for Woody. They had one that was the Incredibles with the
Tartan.
Incredibles things on. I know, but I'm being American like Woody is. And so they've got 5 different donuts available. They've got hot drinks available. The donuts look very Instagrammable. They're like glazed from the top. They're all different designs, quite striking. You've got 2 that are chocolate, one that was apricot, one that was strawberry, one that was vanilla. Because I haven't got the photographs on here, I can't quite remember which way around they went. But yeah, they're €4.50 as you go in. We will probably do that because it's a great, just handy place. It's a good location.
Nice little breakfast.
You love donuts.
I love donuts.
I loved the Hepcat Cafe.
Makes Madeleines.
Yeah. Well, as I've said before, it's because it's always a place where when you're having not a lot of luck getting something, it would always be open early. We could always get a Wookiee cookie or something from there. And there was always a sense of relief at that place. Because people are like, oh, this place does it. None of the carts that advertise it do it, but this place does it. So,
And weirdly,
I hope
the
it
queue was
continues.
never that long. You'd
No.
think because of where it was, it would, yeah, I'm just
Right at the entrance.
donuts. I'm just wanting to get the actual
Donuts.
menu up now.
our friend Susie, who listens to the show sometimes, hates donuts. Have we discussed this recently?
I don't like donuts, Susie. I can eat them.
I think she was
don't
in the
hate
chat
them.
recently and we discussed it. And when we did the hairspray, they had to decorate a bagel
Oh yeah.
because she said they taste
'Cause
like
she-
dog muck.
yeah.
Do you remember this story?
Oh yeah.
If you listen to, if you listen to podcasts a few in a row, that story won't have been that long ago to you, but it was weeks ago to us. So sorry for repeating it.
So sorry, I've got the picture up now because I had to Google it. And we've got the strawberry one is Incredibles, which is bright red with an eye logo. The Wilderness Explorer Donald is brown, but with like the badges that the
Okay.
Wilderness Explorers get. Because it's all Pixar related. Is it because of this?
Donald?
That's just.
Do you say Wilderness Donald? Or is it Wilderness Explorer Donut? What are you reading here?
That's
Oh, it is donut.
It's just donuts. Nothing to do with Donald. Nothing to do with Donald.
just.
Forget about him.
Baby Groot, just green with Baby Groot on. And then they've got the Slinky Dog Swirl one looks good because it's like they've used the circle of it to go slinky, 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 slinky dog. And then, yeah, like I said, the Sheriff Woody one. They look really nice.
I think the Groot one should be. I don't know why it's green. I know that Groot grows things, but I feel like it should be brown and knobbly bobbly.
It also feels a bit plain, and then there's just this little thing on the side. I feel like
That's-
it needs more on it.
Stuck on, yeah.
I agree. It should
It's in
be
a weird
brown
place.
glaze, but with like crumbled flake on it.
But you know, these are Instagram. We're always saying we want Instagrammable treats, not because we're Instagramming them necessarily, but it's a good like marker of something that looks cute.
Standard.
Look,
You know,
this
it's
is what we did at
desirable.
Disney.
Yeah, and you can do a little review on it.
So they're good. They're good, and it's a well-placed place.
Enjoy it with a boisson chaude.
Like I say, donuts are not my sweet of choice. However, I will eat one, and if we just want a quick grab sweet something for breakfast on the way
love
through.
All the donuts. I like the ring donuts. I like the jam-filled ones. I like a custard one. I like a fresh one from the seaside or a market. Bonnie, you like a donut, don't you?
Yeah.
You even like a fresh donut.
Yeah.
You do now. We got some in Scarborough, and I was telling Bonnie about these donuts. And
Do you
then,
not like 'em?
and when we got them, they were the freshly made ones, and you were like, "Oh, you were really little." You were like, "This isn't what I thought they'd be." But the next time I got them, you were all about them, because there's a similar kind of thing
And
to
then
it.
I dropped one.
Well, it's similar kind of thing to a churro though,
Yeah.
just in a different format. And you love a churro, don't you?
Yeah.
I used to go
Chris
to
is
a
here.
youth drama club.
Hi, Chris.
Dewsbury Arts Group. And we used to have the most anarchic Christmas parties you can imagine. Like, health and safety was out the window. It was 1993. We used to whack each other with sticks and play games. And and after every game, people would get forfeits. They're called ibble dibbles, which were like black spots that you could get on your face. And whoever got the most black spots was the loser. It was anarchy. But one of the forfeits that you had to do was...
This give me memories of Theresa May running through a field of wheat. You know, like, oh, it's pure anarchy. You know, like, yes, I did get up to mischief.
Okay. No, right. One of
Pure anarchy. We were playing Dibble Double or whatever it was. So middle class.
One of the games was called we've got loads of friends. They'll all hold this up as a bad thing. We played this game called Stir the Porridge, and it was a rolled up newspaper, and you had to pretend to stir the porridge and then shout a number and run to that person, and then it was a bit like playing the Duck Duck Goose thing where you have to run around, but you had to like whack them to the newspaper to get them out. And they were like aged from 11 to 16, and I remember a 16-year-old lad jumping over a bank of chairs to beat me with a rolled up newspaper. It was like the most violent thing. But yeah, one of the forfeits we had to do was eat a donut without licking, one of the sugar donuts without licking our lips.
That was on Wackaday.
That might be where they got it.
Because I've done that challenge before, and it's so difficult.
It is. It's like you're going...
You wouldn't think so, Bonnie, but sugar, like, donuts with sugar sprinkled on top. But the thing is, it's just instinctive. Even if you're thinking hard not to do it, your tongue just goes, bleh,
Yeah.
like Yoshi.
Oh, Barty Crouch
So,
Jr.
Chris is here. Chris,
Yes.
Chris says, what's blue and goes up and down, up and down? Stitch in a lift. We haven't laughed at any of these jokes, by the way, Chris. So it's not just you. Alicia says, I think I saw a DLP report post. The taste was pretty disappointing, albeit they do look good. And Andrew says, donuts have to be fresh, otherwise they're a disappointment. They're probably just pre-made donuts. Like you get those tray of donuts for like £2 in Asda.
Yeah.
No shade Asda, but like. They're perfectly fine to bring to a buffet, but they're not great donuts. They're like
They're not seaside.
they're the lowest of the low. They're fine, but they're the lowest. You know, the kind of like sweaty, the sweaty ones.
Sweaty?
You'd know what I mean if you'd had one.
I've had one before.
If you're there in the next few weeks, we know some people in the chat and Chris are, have one of these donuts and report back if the taste matches up to the look of them, because they do look good. They do look good. Right, let's move along.
Yeah.
Moving on up. Pass perk party or party pass perks. Oh, pass party perk. So, the next annual pass holder exclusive party will be on the, pause for a little hiccup, 12th of September at Walt Disney Studios Park. So this one is paying tribute to the movie studio aspect, given that is going to be going away pretty soon. So it's like this marks the end of the previous life of the studio parks before it becomes Adventureland.
Disney Adventure World.
Thank you. I know.
World of Adventure, and also, why is there a world inside a land?
Adventure World.
Don't get me started. Yes, okay. I'm getting it wrong on purpose to point out how unmemorable
because
the
acronym. I said initialism a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sorry, I meant acronym. I overthought it.
We lost subscribers because you got that wrong.
The acronym is DAW. So that's how I remember. It's Disney Adventure World. DAW.
I will never forget that again.
Some people will remember it because I said that,
Hugh's initials spell ha.
Ha!
Anyway, so it's called Disney Starlight Night. And there will be exclusive shows, revivals, and character meets. That's what we get used to now. They do a little show. They might revive an old show, revive an old parade float, and then they do some exclusive meets. Now, I don't know whether this is related to this or not. DLP reports seem to think it was, but they've also posted an audition for a UK audition for a Raya character performer.
Wow.
We like Raya, don't we?
Yeah.
We watched it twice.
I mean, she's alright.
I thought it was a really good movie. I really liked it.
I have no.
So if you're an annual pass holder, fill your boots. 12th of September. Go on, get going. This is, I mean, I have FOMO on all these things. I can't say this theme is quite enough to make me buy an annual pass, especially to go to it. Whereas some of the others, I've been like, I'm so jealous, I want to be there. But this one, it sounds good. It will be fun. Yay.
I'm just trying your Cocoa Bay from Aldi, hashtag not sponsored, strawberry daiquiri. It's not bad.
It is, it's nice. It slightly gone to my head on one sip, but...
They do some good tropical drinks to Aldi.
I do love a cocktail in a can. I'm a simple girl. Next thing, cabin in the woods. So again, I had downloaded all the photos for this and they've not synced over.
Do you know what though? It's pretty easy to describe them.
Yeah.
Because actually, so this is the makeover of the cabins at Davy Crockett Ranch. Short drive away from the park, little holiday cabins. And I saw them just a moment ago. They haven't changed that much. It just looks everything looks a bit more angular. I did see one comment on another Facebook group and this lady just said, I don't like dark wood.
Don't say that.
Oh dear.
I love dark wood.
We do, our whole house is, well, except for the white kitchen. But go stay at Newport Bay. That's fine. We don't mind.
If you don't like it, why don't you go and stay at Newport Bay? Anne. Do you know what? She was called Anne as well. I should have made her name up. Was she called Anne? I think she was.
She wasn't.
Total name and shame there.
Love you, Anne. She'll probably watch
That's
this.
fine. Some people just like to exercise the finger joints, don't they? That's all I can say. I was getting quite frantic on this, going, now what's the difference? What they've published is like a 3D rendering of like a floor plan, you know, when they do a floor plan, but they do it from a slight angle, so you get to see all the furniture as well. I don't think that the basic layout, as in far end is the parents' double bed, kitchen and living room with a table by the window is the same, bathroom with a closet on the other side, and then kids' room. That's not changed.
That's the same, yeah.
That's exactly the same. What I did spot is there used to be 3 kids' beds as standard with a 4th trundle. Yeah. What you now have is 2 kids' beds at either end. So there's quite a big space in the middle, and then 2 trundles. So it still fits 4, but and I think that's better because you are going to have a lot of families with just 2 kids, and it saves space, and and you can tie them away. So that's changed.
My biggest disappointment, I won't say gripe or anything, disappointment, because I understand it looked dated and they were going to change them, but I did like those curtains with the leaves on. And and the picture I saw, they looked like cream coloured, and everything else was this dark wood, which was kind of in keeping with, you know, the old ones. But then the curtains are just plain. I didn't see a close-up of them. Maybe they're a nice material, you know, nice tactile mid-century material. I don't know, but they looked quite dull. But and from what I glimpsed of the bench in the living room, that looked like it had that kind of vintage mid-century quality still to it. So it looks like they've done a good job. It doesn't have that brown, grey laminate flooring that Disney World's doing everywhere.
It hasn't gone all Hilton. They haven't homogenised it. It's looking. It's still looking quirky. It's still looking like a cabin in the woods. But it's exciting.
And what's the Donald Duck? What's the little group they're in? The little adventure group.
Oh, the Junior Woodchucks.
So there's images of those in there.
Which is from DuckTales, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like it's like the Scouts, but for that. yeah, we loved it, and we were a bit sad that all this kind of mid-century stuff was going. It doesn't look like it's really gone, and stuff like the bathrooms, they needed a refresh. They were really old, and so stuff was chipped, and so good. That's fine. I think they've slightly changed the layout of the kitchen. I was trying to remember exactly where it was. I know the sink's still in front of the window, but I don't remember the microwave being up where it was. I might be wrong. So if you go in and say, maybe you've got a better memory than us.
I've got a photograph of that very kitchen.
Oh, so you can tell us if it's the same or tweaked.
And it's that good. It's in my favourites folder.
Oh.
So it was December. Let me go back here. Let's go back. Here we go. So, the microwave's up in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
So, now, bear in mind this is reversed, remember, guys, so the microwave is up in the corner there. So is it all the same, do we think?
I think so, more or less. Without looking at the other one again, I think so, more or less. Nothing major is going to change. If you've stayed in them before, you're in for something very, very similar, but new and fresh. Now then, if you want to stay in them, booking opened on the 12th of June. My fingers do it automatically. Booking opened on the 12th of June, which is 3 days ago. Was that Thursday? That was Thursday, wasn't it? Because it was Friday the 13th. So booking opened on the 12th of June for bookings starting on the 1st of September. To be specific, it said 100 units will go on sale tomorrow. Now, there are more than 100 units at David Crockett Ranch, so it's possible that only half of them will be new units. Without going on the website myself, I'm not sure if you will get an option of a new cabin or an old one. If you want a new cabin, I recommend that you specifically request one. You send an email to the hotel direct about a month before so that they can count it in when they're allocating rooms, or you just let your travel agent know and see what they say. Or you might be able to select it when you're booking. So half the units are now on sale for bookings starting the 1st of September onwards. So that's good. We were optimistically requesting one last November. That was silly of us, wasn't it?
That's why she got any the new ones, yeah.
No. But that's good. That's made me think, ooh, do we want to stay at David Crockett Ranch when we go? We're thinking October, aren't we?
Yeah, we're thinking October DLP, October next year, WDW.
Because Bonnie's starting high school. I can't believe it. I can't get over it. Don't talk to me about it. It's upsetting.
Don't talk to me about it.
Lipstick on your head.
So, you can talk to me about it. I'm fine with it.
Bonnie's starting high school, and her current school does 2 weeks in May. Her new school does 2 weeks in October and only 1 week at Easter. So I know. So we're going to use the 2 weeks in October to do these various holidays.
1 week at Easter? I thought it was one less in the summer holidays.
No, we still get 6 in the summer. They only get 1 at Easter. That's where you get the trade-off.
Oh.
True.
So is it your current school did 2 at Easter still?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, we're on. So we're thinking of going the first of her 2 weeks, which is the 3rd week in October, which is, because I've already checked, quite a bit cheaper than the half-term week. So we get that week before, which is nice.
We like cheap.
I just need to check that people aren't going to throw work at me that week, which is a possibility, but we're looking at going. I have been tentatively looking at going on the ferry again. We used to go Hull Zeebrugge. Now they don't run that route anymore, so we would have to go Hull Rotterdam, which is quite a bit further. So it's then a 5-hour drive from Rotterdam to Disneyland Paris. But we're already doing 5 hours from Leeds to Kent anyway, so it's not what I want to do. I was talking about it today, and Hugh just went, I prefer flying. So I'm like, all right.
I always prefer flying.
I might just look at flying then.
I mean...
Flying lasts like 3 seconds.
I know it's so much more, but there's a reason.
Oh, sorry.
And, I'll pay.
One of the reasons we were going to do the Rotterdam ferry is because we want to go see the giant pandas in Belgium at Paris-Daisy, which is halfway between Rotterdam and Paris. So we could have just done a little triangle and done that. Somebody in the chat whose name I can't read from here is saying fly.
Yeah, it's MCull83. You can't get time back. Fly. We're booked up for Santa Fe in Feb 26. Does the job. Lucy, can I ask where your dungarees are from, please? There's Emily. They're awesome.
They are, specifically, I got them from the Edinburgh Festival, or, a shop in Edinburgh.
During the Fringe.
During the Fringe Festival a few years ago. But they are Run and Fly, which is a multinational company, I think. We can buy them in Leeds Corn Exchange. However, last time I was in Leeds Corn Exchange and I bought a Run and Fly dress, the lady behind the counter said, they're going out of business. And I went, oh no. And she went, I think it's because of the owner's circumstances. I don't think they've been pushed out of business. But yeah, this is our last order. So I think Run and Fly merchandise, get it while you can or get on Vinted. I know, because I've got quite a lot of Run and Fly stuff.
Time check, we've got a trip report from Andrew coming up.
Right, I think that was our last bit of news, really, yeah.
Cool.
Well, I had some dates for the diary.
Yeah.
Big Thunder Mountain reopens on the 21st of this month.
Finally.
Hey.
How many Thunder Mountains are down across the world? Is it like 3?
Yeah.
I think
it's
so,
3.
yeah. It'll only be 2 when we reopen.
Wow. Right.
And then the other one was the shows are reopening in the Studios Park. So Pixar is reopening on the 12th of July. What's that called? Adventure Friends Renewal. I never know these things.
Is it?
The Pixar show that's next door to
It's like
Stitch.
Yeah, it's like
Have I seen that one?
Friends of Adventure Friends.
Yeah.
Catchy.
And
Innit?
it's got like music notes with the Pixar heads.
And we've already got the Alice show back, and yeah, it's all peddling forward until the summer season now. It's all going hot.
Yes.
Right, that's it, Huey.
Right, we have a trip report from Andrew H, who, should we do the jingle? Let's try and do the harmonies, the audience trip roundup.
My voice will not
Bonnie?
manipulate today. You two
Audience
harmonise.
trip roundup, should we do it? Just pick a note, we'll see what it sounds like. Audience trip roundup. Wow,
Completely different thing.
that sucked.
I know.
Andrew says, this is quite a short one actually, which we like sometimes. Andrew says, hi 37 Disney Street crew. You asked for a trip report and here it is. I've been quite overloaded with things over the past week, so I'm sorry I've not had more of a chance to edit it down. It's not that long actually, Andrew, so thanks. Trip report, : after some very demanding months at work, I wanted a little dose of Disney magic, even if, due to other commitments, it'd have to be very brief. I flew into Paris on Wednesday evening and headed to Torcy, a suburb close to the parks. Torcy? Where I was booked into the B&B hotel. I'd chosen this budget option so I could instead spend on some nicer meals and on Premier Access passes where needed. You see, that's a good trade-off. Torcy B&B Hotel was no frills, but clean, modern, and right next to the RER train station itself, just 10 minutes train ride from the parks.
Nice.
It was a good choice.
Nice.
After checking in, I took the train to Disney for a dinner at Hunter's Grill in Sequoia Lodge Hotel. It's worth remembering that you can book tables at Disney hotel restaurants even if you're not staying at them. That's a very good point, Andrew. Because I was thinking, wow, you went straight to the parks and then you went for a meal in a resort. You can do that. Which is a nice way to get a taste of Disney magic if you're staying off-site. Again, Andrew, this is good stuff. This may be the tiki, pineapple and mango spirit drink talking, but this is good stuff. Approaching the lodge, I felt my shoulders relax as I strolled past the lake and began to hear birdsong amongst the big trees. Aww. Dinner was good, tasty, comfort food amongst the cosy log cabin atmosphere. After dinner, I enjoyed a drink in the Redwood Bar before my short train ride back to Torcy. Next morning, I arrived at the parks for opening. Having missed out on Crusher's Coaster on my last visit, the plan was to dash there without delay. But I hadn't reckoned on how I'd react to the newly opened world premiere precinct. Amazing. Hyphenated. I've never been to Hollywood and wasn't alive in the 30s, but world premiere looks and feels exactly how I've always imagined 1930s Tinseltown would have been like. I was struck by the beauty and detail and surprised at how emotionally I reacted to what I'd anticipated would just be a nicely designed entrance lobby. It was absolutely magical. Andrew sent us a photograph of this, I seem to recall, and was saying similar. On our group on Facebook, join it if you haven't joined it, the Disneyland Paris Show, and also our main page, 37 Disney Street. Blah, blah, blah. It was absolutely magical. Having spent more time in there than planned, I hopped onto the app to buy myself Premier Access for Crush's Coaster rather than trying to join the main queue. Bonnie and I pushed in that queue accidentally. We just kind of merged in quite... We walked past loads of people, and it turns out they were all heading to Crush, and we just kind of blended in with them. So we'd actually, I reckon we'd passed about 10 minutes worth of people, maybe even 15.
I don't remember that.
We don't push in, the rains wait their turn. Where have I got to? Right, I enjoyed Crush, but I was glad I hadn't spent 70 minutes waiting for it. I then used the single rider line to get onto Ratatouille very quickly, but just after I got on, the ride totally broke down, forcing an evacuation. That sounds like you pooed yourself, Andrew. What? The compensation was a free Premier Access 1 pass to use on any other ride, which became useful later. When we did this, we had a couple of these at Walt Disney World, and they just give you them for the same ride, or the equivalent, like. But this is like, sounds like you could use it on anything. In the main Disneyland park, I was shocked at just how short some of the queues were, given that it was June. I got into Star Tours and Pirates of the Caribbean with just 5 minutes wait on each. Peter Pan, of course, had the usual 70-minute line, so I used my free pass from Ratatouille there. Did I feel jammy? Yes, I did. Indiana Jones also had a lengthy queue, but I bought a Premier Access for that one. For lunch.
Really?
Smart. Well, smart thinking.
Wait,
If you like that ride, why not?
I mean, well, because we've often gone up to Indiana Jones.
It can get quiet up there.
Indiana Jones and the Rattly Bones. We've often gone up that road, and it's been a 5-minute wait, like on the regular, haven't we?
I think I need to do that again.
I think you do. I think maybe I do, just for fun. I think we all do now. You do roller coasters.
Oh, yeah. For lunch, I decided to treat myself to a royal banquet. My misgivings about the price quickly melted when I started enjoying the meal. I like that. It's like maybe there was a time at the start when you weren't enjoying it, but then you started to enjoy it. The food was delicious and seemed a genuine step up from the already good standards of the other Disney buffets. The highlight, however, was Donald Duck deciding to sit at the spare seat on my table, joining me for a good few minutes of banter. One other important point here, on Lucy's tips videos, she sometimes advises people to try to help create magic for other guests, if possible.
Magic.
Well, the family at the next table did that for me, simply by offering to take photos whenever I was meeting characters. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Then, when it was their turn, I returned the favour. It was a little thing, but it meant more than just mutual convenience. It was a little moment of community.
Be the magic.
Be the magic.
After lunch, I rode on the repaired Ratatouille before going back to the main park. I didn't see much of the music festival as I decided to prioritise rides, but I did see Goofy's Imaginary Orchestra, which managed to be both silly and symphonic. If the other musical festival performances are equally as good, I'd say they're worth checking out. Weirdly, however, the Goofy shows aren't listed on the app or the info boards. You just need to be in the central plaza at the right time. And finally, says Andrew, with a 7:30 p.m. flight, I left the parks at 5 p.m. That's about right, isn't it? The TGV to the airport only takes 10 minutes. Sadly, this meant I missed the evening shows. The visit was very short, and I had to make trade-offs. But I had a brilliant time. Andrew, that was good stuff.
Last time, this is another thing, because I've been debating booking hours, is last time we went, we were planning on getting an Uber back to the airport. And I'd looked at the TGV and it was really expensive. And for 3 of us, it was like $30. It was 10 minutes. Thought that's ridiculous. We may as well get an Uber. When I was sitting in the hotel room the night before I meant to go, the TGV was like €10. And so I booked, I don't know how I did it or how that was a circumstance, but I booked it last minute. And I don't know if I'm giving you good advice here because I can't remember exactly what happened, but we decided to take the TGV at the final hour and it worked out really well for us. So I don't know if we're going to try do that again. Right, I've got a question for you two then, Disneyland Paris related.
Oh gosh.
We have now, having eaten at Walt's and Silver Spur Steakhouse, eaten at pretty much every restaurant at Disneyland Paris. Some of them, though, will be about 8 years ago since we ate at them. We're like Chez Remy, we've only eaten it once, and it was when you were little. Stuff like that. So we usually do one, maybe two like splurges on a single trip. So if we're going to go in October, I want to hear from both of you what you think our splurge meals should be. So I'm going to read a list of the sit-down restaurants. Just bear with me. And then I just want you to tell me what you want your splurge to be. Agribar Cafe.
Yes.
Auberge de Cylindrion. Billy Bob's Buffet. Bistro Chez Remy. Captain Jack's. Plaza Gardens. Hunter's Grill at Sequoia Lodge. Sorry, I'm going past some of the ones that are at hotels. Pim Kitchen, Rainforest Cafe, Royal Banquet, Silver Spur Steakhouse, the Royal Pub, Waltz. Yeah, that's it.
Been there recently.
Otherwise, we're at
I'd like to do
hotels.
Hunter's Grill because Andrew's convinced me, and maybe Captain Jack's again. I don't think Bonnie was that bothered about Captain Jack's, were you?
We need to see if she's still allowed to order off the kids' menu, which I think they can in a la carte places. I think anybody can at an a la carte place.
She's a kid.
I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I'm
But
a
in
kid.
Disney World, she's 10 now. She's a Disney
I am
adult
not an
now.
adult. I am a small child.
A Disney adult.
Small child.
I think of those, I might want to. I've got really, really good memories of going to Billy Bob's. Don't know why. I think it was our first meal on like one of our first trips. I'm just like, I'm so happy to be here.
You were, because I remember, and this is the main thing I remember from this, is, and you know what I'm going to say?
I do.
The way it took us over to a table by the window, and Lucy said, "Oh, this is lovely, thank you." And I remember already thinking, this isn't a love. This, we were by a window and we could see out like behind some buildings into like some bins and some industrial bits. And bless her, she was like, "This is lovely, thank you."
I was just so happy to be there.
You were too happy. So if you've got any questions in the chat there.
But yeah, I think it would be Billy Bob's and maybe Bistro Chez Remy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because I've just got memories of, is this sugar I can eat this?
Yeah, well, that's from the video, isn't it? But to be
Yeah.
fair, you were so tiny. I think you'd appreciate the detailing going on now.
Cheryl says, we are flying in November with Air France, just taking one bag, and had worked out about the same as the shuttle and hotel overnight in London. We would have to... See, that's the thing. There's a possible hotel along the way that we normally do as well.
Well, that's why the ferry works out cheaper than you think it does, because it is £500 for the ferry, but we avoid a hotel on the way there and a hotel on the way back because it's an overnight ferry.
Oh, Susie is here, the donut hater. Hello.
That's how she's known locally.
There's a few other people that have joined the chat. I didn't get round to everybody at the time, but we got Matt and Kelfie and Cindy and Kurt. Love the mouse from Philadelphia. Did I say Lisa? Yeah, I think I did.
Hey, from Philly.
Not Lisa, Julia. All sorts of people are here. Sorry if I missed anybody. Any questions about Disney World? I don't think I mentioned the weather. Normally in my videos, I will do a little weather report because I think it's nice to know. But unfortunately, when we went in February, I was doing like constant weather updates, but I didn't really realise until we got back that we were there in a heat wave in February. So it's about as hot as it is in summer when we were there. But the 2 weeks we were there, it rained almost every day. We don't mind the rain, and it's the rain there is fun because it's big. They do everything big in America, even the rain.
Chubby rain.
And
Wasn't that like an Eddie Murphy thing?
Bowfinger.
Bowfinger.
But that did mean that we barely got a blue sky. And I was saying to my parents today, you notice this more, I think, if you're a photographer, because when the sky's just dull and there's no sunlight anywhere, there's no shadows and contrast, I'm not as keen to get my camera out. And I got barely any photographs after the first week of any use. And it's because the sky was just dull the whole time. And
Oh no, bad light.
we barely got a blue sky in 2 weeks. We didn't get one proper sunset, and I could normally count on a bit of a sunset while we're there. And the weather was not brilliant, to be honest. But it was still hot, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah. It was, we had one intense rainstorm when we decided to go to Disney Springs. And to be fair, The rainstorm had already started and we left our hotel room in the middle of a downpour to go to Disney Springs. So it's not like we were caught out. We chose to go out into that deluge.
But it was good luck because that's when I bought this.
It is, because you got so soaking. I bought her a Spirit jersey. That is so spoiled child.
But we knew that I'd wear it, for example, today.
We did. Do you want to show them the back of it? 'Cause it's very nice.
It's backwards, but there it is. It's got Magician Mickey. Yeah.
Very nice.
Spirit
Fantastic.
jersey. That was when we ran from the room to the bus stop, and that 2 minutes was the worst rain. And it's funny. It's funny when that happens, but you know, it's typical, isn't it? Like, let's make a dash for it. Ponchos on, and then as soon as we got to the bus stop, it settled down.
She was giggling.
I loved it. I love a bit of mental rain.
And I was just frowning.
When you get
squinting.
soaking wet through, you always remember it. Like, we always remember Legoland queuing up for that haunted house. For
I got really ill,
an hour.
like ill though. I had a really bad flu the following day, and I think it had just been from like shivering and getting soaking wet in a summer dress. I honestly, I'll be honest, I thought that would create more of a Disneyland Paris discussion, and you both just gave me one word answers.
Oh, the
And moved
restaurants.
at the restaurants.
Oh, sorry. What did I? Hunter's Grill, Captain Jack's.
Hunter's Grill, Captain's Jack. Right, let's carry on.
What would you like to do?
Well, I think, you said Bistro Chez Remy.
Yeah, we should do that again.
But then there's really standard ones that we just know this will be good, like Pim's. We've done twice in fairly quick succession, and it's quite a...
It's one of my favourite of the buffets.
Big food, little food.
It's the blue
all
custard.
great.
Blue custard, hot dogs, all
Indeed.
tiny fries,
I like the idea of going
pretzels.
out to hotels for it.
Yeah.
I haven't added Annette's into this list because I just presume we'll do Annette's now.
I'm getting into Annette's. The first time we went, I was like,
It's fun.
rubbish. But now I love it.
Yeah, it's
Nice
good
and
to go. I wouldn't recommend going on an evening because when everyone's particularly in the winter, because when people get spat out of the parks at 8 o'clock, or when people leave them organically at 6 o'clock, you are queuing out of the door to get into Annette's. But we tend to go at weird times, like a 11:30 lunch, don't we? Or a 2:30 between meal.
Always do that if you can.
Yeah.
Hey, in the chat, guys, Susie's confirming yes, donuts are rank. Julie says, what's the best time of year to go to Walt Disney World for warm but not too hot? Thinking of the kids. I'd say February.
Yeah.
March.
There's off season entirely, which is January, February, when it can actually get cold. Well, Floridians say it's cold. It'll actually get to like 18 degrees, which for us is like t-shirt weather, isn't it? But yeah, anywhere from like October to February can be like that. But we went in April the first time, and what we didn't get really was rain. We did one day we got mental rain. Compared to May, when we tend to get quite a lot of like hurricane season rain. But it was hot in April, wasn't it? But I don't remember baking like you're under a grill like I do this holiday.
I do.
Do you? In the April?
Love John Handmaid says Remy's is our favourite restaurant. And we try to go every time. I enjoyed it.
I found it slightly overpriced for what you were getting.
Found it lacking. Bonnie seemed to like some of it. She was like 3.
Spaghetti at the time.
The what?
The spaghetti.
Oh, you might like the spaghetti now.
Yeah, I think I might, but I was like, nah.
Susie says in answer to Julia's question, we went in May and it was great. Also been in August, not great. Humid and stormy. Water parks are a no-go if it's stormy. That's true. They shut the pools at the hotels all the time. They have to close the slides in case of lightning strikes. Ed says, this one. There was a discussion online recently about queue jumping rides at Walt Disney World. Quite a lot of people seem to think it's not queue jumping if you're meeting family further up the queue. No, I won't say that.
This argument...
We have a law as a family.
Well, I mean, we just don't queue jump. I will concede that if the people in the queue outnumber the people who are not in the queue, for example, there's 5 people in the queue and one person has gone to the toilet, I'll concede that. But what you get quite often is one person in the queue and then 5 people shoving past to queue jump to join that one person. That is gross.
There's normally an ant up the front signalling and their nieces and nephews in droves
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
up. I've got this thing where if I'm kind of leaning against a rail and I've got kind of comfortable because the queue stopped and someone's pushing in basically and says, excuse me, I'll just kind of look at them and make a gesture like, go around me. I'm not moving for you. This is where I lean.
Oh no.
He said this to our friend. He explained this to our friend Kat, and she was like, "Oh, like she couldn't believe he would be that like contentious
I
in
think
public."
she fell in love with me a bit that day.
Yeah.
Ed says, if you're on another ride and your family queues for another ride, it's apparently perfectly acceptable to meet up with your family further up the queue. I absolutely disagree. What do we think? Ed, bang on.
I
But
completely disagree. I concede the one thing I said, but really I would prefer you not to even do that.
let's be honest, different cultures have different ways of queuing, and they would think that we're weird, but we really have a strong feeling. And not all Brits adhere to this rule. You should see what happens when a new till opens in a supermarket. People just think, oh, that was lucky. I was just walking past. Now I can beat all those people. No. Get in line, pal. But we have a real sense of we should be served in the order that we arrived at the place.
First come, first serve.
Yes, that. That
She
is like,
said.
that's my
Exactly.
like whole way of being.
Belief system.
The problem is, I'm really going to ask everyone to take a deep breath right now, because the only way you can realistically stop people doing this is to manhandle them, is to like block the way, shove them, say, no, you're not doing that. And I don't recommend you do that in Disney World. I don't recommend you have a verbal confrontation with them in a queue either, because be the magic.
Look.
So even though they are in the wrong, because they're idiots, let them be idiots on their own time.
Appreciate that. Are instances like if you've got to rush your kid out because the kid needs the toilet, I would say that was alright. If you're carrying a kid, I kind of understand, but some people do take the mick. I've seen people in Paris going, "Hey, come on."
And then 8 people come past.
You know, like in The Simpsons where he's going, "Come on, Billy Bob, Sarah Jane, Mavis, Delula," and he's just calling on his kids like that, and they're
there's
like,
like 15 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep coming. But I really like, let's get this out in the air now. There's nobody actually at Disneyland Paris now. You're all at home. You're like, right, this might happen and I'm going to be chill with it. Because, yeah, if you start getting annoyed by stuff like that, particularly at Disneyland Paris, you're in for a rough ride, baby. Honestly.
Yeah, it's a melting pot of different cultures, and you kind of have to accept that within reason. There are times when you think, "Nah, not today, my friend. I'm going before you." Oh, I just remember the guy in the French guy in Adventureland who just pushed in front of the queue and ordered and bought a peach. Excusez-moi, c'est combien pour le pêche? And I was looking at him going, and I couldn't think of anything to say, so I just went. And he either was ignoring me because he was a cocky boy, or he just didn't register with him. I want to say something about Disney World because Guy in the past has used the chat feature when something's not gone quite right, and he's kind of checked in on the chat feature on the My Disney Experience app. We used it once. I was like, no, because as soon as we got off Pirates of the Caribbean, Lucy said, "I think this might be a good time to try that." I went, "I'm already thinking of doing that.
Yeah,
Don't you worry."
We were getting off and I went, get in the chat.
We had a
Get in the chat.
we had a child behind us going, as soon as the boat set off, going, "I don't want to go on Pirates again. I don't want to go on Pirates." And I thought, well, you're on Pirates.
Literally
Like,
sat on the boat.
deal with it. And the parents, to kind of combat that, were being overly nice, and they were going, "Hey, look," really loud. "Hey, look, a goat. Hey, look, a cat," at everything. So we got off, and I, be nice about it, joined the chat, and I said, I don't normally do this. We got a ride, and I was playful with it. I said, some scurvy dogs behind us, some landlubbers were making a lot of noise. I said, is there any way we could ride that again without having to queue? I said, well, we can't put them in Davy Jones' locker. Is there anything we can do? Make it playful for them, and they were like, oh, let me pull that up for you.
It was the people behind us, as soon as they saw the seats, they saw how wet they were, and oh my gosh.
Yeah,
they were like, I want to sit in the middle. No, because I don't want to get one. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm going to get wet. I'm so scared.
They ruined our ride, didn't they?
They spoiled the ride, and it was Gibson on the chat, and Gibson gave us some
Fast passes.
They're still called fast passes. A couple of lightning
lanes.
passes.
to the same ride, and and I thanked them appropriately. I said, Gibson, you are a sailor of honour in a world of pirates and thieves. And I think that that brightened the day a little bit. Don't just be like, oh yeah, we've had a rubbish time. We want a free ride, please. Be nice and cool about it, and use it sparingly. And it was a good tip, Guy. We did it once. Maybe we'll do it again.
I will just say, I think you've released the beast in the chat for people moaning about queue jumpers. So,
You don't know they're meeting up with anyone. 2 teenage boys did this at Orbitron, and they didn't meet up with anyone. How can you know it's genuine? So best be patient and join queue together.
I've said that though because it is when I see teenagers do it. I'll be honest, because that teenagers can be cheeky little monkeys. And they'll walk along going, oh, excuse me, oh, I'm doing this fake wave. And I'm like, I'm not convinced you're waving at anyone. I think you're just making this up or saying things like, oh, my mum's down there. And I'm like, is she?
What do you do when you get to the front?
And I think they'll do it all the way to the front and then just by that point, no one will be paying attention to them.
I don't want to play this card in the Magic Kingdom, but if 2 teenagers are coming behind us and pushing through, what's to stop me going, no, not today? What are they going to do? Honestly, what are they going to do? They're not going to get violent with me. I'm obviously not going to get violent with them. What if you just say, no, you're not getting past?
And then have to wear a disguise the rest of the day.
Well, that has happened before. I overreacted on Pirates of the Caribbean in Disney World again, and I had to disguise myself for the rest of the day because I think I went too far. I was too petty.
And then Sue said something about fireworks.
Yeah, worse than the queue jumping, it's the people who stand in front of you 5 minutes before the fireworks when you've been waiting for an hour. I go full Karen and lose my rag with them, especially when there's kids or babies on pushchairs. I honestly don't know how they have the balls.
Yeah.
I was the magic. I made them disappear.
I'm glad we've all managed to get that off our chests. There is the problem with
We can do a show on queuing.
Disney parks in general is all the other humans. And the thing is, the individual people we meet are nice. We've chatted to some lovely people in Disney World, but people as a faceless mass are just horrid. And they just get in your way and cause you problems.
It's not the persons, it's the people.
There you go. Persons are fine, people, nightmare. We all know this. Patient pants. Right, that's 32 minutes past.
It is. Have we got any, maybe do one more Walt Disney World thoughts? Anyone?
Yeah, well, it's the 3 of us. Ooh. Oh, thought from
Disney
us.
Yeah, anything. Because we've just been dropping little tidbits in at the end of each show so far. We could have a good 20 minutes on it. Oh
yeah.
Well, just only briefly, I bought this taffy, which for $9.99 felt like a bit of a bargain because it's a big heavy box of taffy. Taffy, if you don't know, I thought it might be kind of a flavoured toffee. This was just it was a bit smoother than that. Wasn't that chewy, when Phoebe's eating it and she's going, what the is in this? It's not that chewy. And the flavour, the churro one was disgusting. But it's a nice box. I ate it. I ate that in about a day and a half, and there was a lot of it. Anyway, that's
and now
one
you're
of the
complaining about the flavour, and I'm like,
They were very artificial tasting.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of American candies are like that.
Candies.
They have different rules and regulations about foods over there.
I had Disney Blues quite bad when I got back this time, and I just want to know if anybody else feels this thing. Because very specifically this time, I felt a bit like I was mourning all the things I didn't do. Like I came back and was like, oh, we never ate a Cheshire Cat tail this time.
Oh, we didn't.
We didn't have a Cheshire Cat.
That's my favourite.
I know. And then we never went on Monsters Inc. last floor this time.
There's always something you don't do.
And then I've spent all week going, oh, and then we were watching a Disney vlog today because we don't stop even when we get back particularly. And you were saying, oh, it's nice to be back and kind of acclimatise a bit. But then as soon as you see a video...
No, I used to come back from a holiday and I go, right, I'm glad to be back. That's done. But with Disney, I was like a couple of weeks later, I'm watching a video and I think, I want to go back.
I think
already.
I would... I don't think I could say I'd go back tomorrow because of energy levels and diet. No one can eat like that sustainably for a long time. But if you told me that I was able to go back for in 3 weeks' time, you know, mid-July, Lucy, another 2 weeks, I'd go, absolutely. I am ready to go back. And Disneyland Paris. We're just going to have to get back to Disneyland Paris.
I haven't even unpacked yet.
I
I
just
just get out the things that I need.
I've just finished unpacking. Well, almost.
To be honest, at like January, there was still stuff in my suitcase.
From
Because I never officially unpack, I just get out
Well,
the things I need.
it's like your. To be fair, I've unpacked the actual suitcase. Doesn't mean that, but you've got like your
My flight bag.
that's got like all your Disney specific things in, like your fan and stuff like that, and that all just stays in there. Now this is the other thing. Now we don't have them booked. I'm just talking about the ones we're booking. We're booking Disneyland Paris holidays now, but our big holiday, October 26th, we keep saying we might go to California or we might do Universal. But right now, every time I think about going anywhere but Disney World, I think, but that means it'll be another 2 years before we go to Disney World. And I don't think I can tolerate that.
Well, we need to ask, because you were looking at Universal and you said you could only buy a 14-day ticket.
Oh, yeah. I
Right.
think I've heard about that.
If you go to a chat, I'll tell you this now, but people in the chat, like, I think we're going to go a bit longer today because it's only the three of us. So buckle up. You can leave if you like, but buckle up for a bit of Walt Disney World chat. So I was looking at going to Universal, thinking I would just do 3, maybe 4 days, or 2, 3, 4 days at the beginning of our holiday at Universal. And it's a 14-day UK ticket, just like Disney is. Disney's a 14-day UK ticket. I think Disney's like $549 and Universal is $489 or something. You know, they're fairly close, but Universal is slightly cheaper. And then if you go on attractiontickets.com, you can get the Ultimate Orlando ticket, which is both of them, and that's £1,000 for an adult. So that's doubled our ticket prices, but not like lengthened our stay particularly. We'd still only go for probably 12 or 13 days. We don't go for the full 14 because we have to get back for school. Probably still only go for 12 or 13 days, but it's doubled what we'd pay in tickets.
We thought, is that right? Guys literally just messaged to say, yes, 14 days in Universal. We're only doing 3 days. Expensive.
So I'm wondering
You can only get, and what's this, Love John Handmade? You can only get 14-day tickets. Phone up to get one for August, and it was $425 each. I thought, that can't be right. You must be able to get a couple of days here and there.
Has anyone ever tried using a VPN and going on American sites, or is 3 days that expensive? Because I do know that it could be like $150 a day, so it might be that we are saving things. It just means that I'm not sure what the child's ticket price is or when you become an adult, but for us too, it'd be £1,000 each.
Well, I start saving.
Or not go to Universal again. We've never been to Universal, guys. We've been to Florida 5 times now. I know, I love Harry Potter. You've been to Florida 5 times and never been to Universal for this exact reason. And also with being DVC members, our hotel's taken care of. So it's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh, this John says, I missed out on Sleepy Hollow waffles last time we went, Easter 24, and they stopped doing them. But now they're back, so let's hope they're still there next summer.
I had a Sleepy Hollow.
It gets quite stressful going,
Yeah, it does.
I want that waffle, man.
Yeah.
And I want it, like, I hope it's still there.
It is, yeah.
I was going to say before about, you know, when you feel like you haven't done everything. I have learned now, and you forget this, but you always go, oh, I'm going to do that next time we go. And sometimes you can literally walk past one of the places that you've said, we've got to go in there next time we go. And because you're so hot and your legs are so tired and you're like 10 days into your trip, you can literally walk past something and then Lucy will go, oh, didn't you want to go in there? And I'll just look at it and I'll go, nah. Even though it's like just a few feet away, you just know it's a few extra steps on an already long day. So you just know that you're going to go back.
It's
properly.
also things with eating. Like, I get a snacks list as long as my arm from watching DFB videos. And then when you're there, there's a limit to how much school bread and like...
I didn't have a school bread!
Oh,
caramel butter bars, for goodness sake. Don't they sound delicious? You eat a caramel butter bar, you're not wanting anything else sweet for the rest of the day. And so you just can't... You never eat as much as you plan on eating.
Did you have anything like that, Bonnie, where you were like, oh, we didn't do that? You had a
bucket
bucket list, and
Wait, we did it all. We did it
Yeah,
all.
you ticked it all off. That's good, isn't it?
I actually
Yes,
added
it
to
is.
it while we were there.
Tell us what was on your bucket list, because that's interesting.
Well, hug Winnie the Pooh, which was first day. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, loved it. Wilderness Explorers again.
You didn't actually do that much though in the end, did you?
No.
You did it a bit. They filled the booklets in a bit.
Resort Pool, Cinnamon Roll, Epcot Hunt for Spike the Bee.
In the World Showcase.
Yeah. Blizzard Beach, Gideon's,
Gideon's Bakehouse, Disney Springs, cookies.
I want Gideon's cookies right now.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Moana's Journey of Water.
Moana Journey of Water. You see, like, but the other thing is, we usually do our favourite things 5 or 6 times. We only did Moana Journey of Water once. And like, there's no reason to only do that once. Sometimes you can just run through it, can't you?
Just before we go, Ed says, are there any highlights of the trip you want to talk about, or are we waiting for the vlogs?
My vlogs were very sporadic because we were with other people. I didn't want to over vlog this time. So sometimes I'd like, I wish I'd been vlogging today. We've had an ace day.
Yeah,
Highlights.
you did, yeah. You're like, we've done so much, I haven't been vlogging. That was when we did like the golf and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. There was, I did say last time actually, we watched Fantasia and the 2-year-old who was with us had the most... Fantasmic in Hollywood Studios had the most visceral response to Mickey Mouse at the top of the mountain. It was so genuine. He just went like that, and it was like
and he's quite
choking up.
He's
things.
quite a reserved 2-year-old boy, isn't he?
He is.
He just sits there taking it in. He's like, yeah, whatever. But it was like, oh, Mickey.
It was, that was really, really heartwarming.
Did you make it over to French Quarter when you were at Riverside?
We did. We walked down.
That's where we're staying, and I know you can pool hop and walk between the two. Yep, walk down.
And our friends pool hopped. They went to the French Quarter pool.
We went there for breakfast one morning and just because they have nicer drinks machines in the food court. So we went there mostly for that.
Do you know what?
But I do prefer Riverside. But then, you know, if you're staying at French Quarter, it's like a 10-minute walk up and then you can be at Riverside yourself.
The thing is with Port Orleans is 'cause it's got the 3 styles. It's got the French Quarter balconied French style things. It's got the mansions, and then it's got the swamp, which they call Alligator Bayou. We call it the swamp. And they're really, really, really different. But I think that means that there's something for everyone. So we 100% prefer the swamp, and we know some people would have hated that area. So you kind of look on at pictures and go, that reflects me and my tastes.
And we were actually in the mansions, but we realised our rooms weren't close together with the other family. So we said, you know, can we swap? And then we all got put into the bayou. And I'm glad because that's more our style. Because when I saw the mansions, I thought, yeah, they're probably nice. But
they are beautiful.
It's not...
adventurous.
It's a bit more regal, isn't it? Whereas the swamps, it's all overgrown, you know, walkways and stuff, and it's ace.
A highlight for me, and I know this sounds a bit materialistic and spendy, but it was when I bought Bonnie this spirit jersey. I have loads of spirit jerseys, as you know, and I had been thinking, I think Bonnie's old enough for one, and she won't grow out of them as quickly as she used to, and stuff like that. And I'd been half thinking about it, and then we had that downpour, and she was soaked, and we went into World of Disney. And when I said I'd buy you one, you just looked so pleased. And then we got changed in the shop, didn't we? We put it over your head and then pulled your dress down from underneath. She already had cycling shorts on.
I'm gonna get my highlight.
And then she was walking around in a spirit jersey, looking all cool and
Hair
grown
down.
up, hair down, and feeling all glam. And I was just so, I don't know. I was like, you were really happy, so I was really happy. And it was just a nice little afternoon. And it was the first thing we'd done without the other family. Not that I want the highlight to be because we worked with the other family, but it just meant that we got an evening where we all got to just be the 3 of us.
Did we talk? We didn't talk about. Did we talk about prime time last week?
No.
We went to prime time, and the whole deal with there is they're a bit kind of strict with you. And our server, we will be finished soon, guys. Our server was, she was a bit over the top with it, and at one point, I felt like she was a bit confrontational, specifically with me, and I felt like she was picking on me a bit, and I kind of thought, I'm not into this anymore. She's actually been a bit rude now. But all was forgiven when, because they didn't have my favourite dessert, which was the grasshopper, which is like a minty kind of cheesecake. And here's the thing, like, I said, oh, do you not do that anymore? And she said, no one could finish it. And it wasn't even that big. And I went, I could. And she went, And I thought, I don't like it. But I got a cocktail, and it was so delicious, I declared it my new Christmas, because it tasted very Christmassy. And it was rum chatter, which I've since found a bottle of online. And you know that fireball cinnamon?
It's backwards, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's called rum chatter. And then, you know that fireball cinnamon whiskey, which is quite easily, readily available. But this was quite hard to find. I got it off Amazon, I think, even though I don't like Amazon for political reasons. But rum chatter, fireball whiskey, I'm going to have it at Christmas because it tasted a little bit eggnoggy, and that's going to be my Christmas drink. And that cocktail was my highlight.
What annoyed
Honestly,
me at 50th
2
prime
ingredients.
time was I had my notebook with me, and I had a picture of a Disney character on my phone, so I was copying it. And then she came and said that there were no devices all at the table, and I'm like...
Yeah, she made you turn your phone off.
Yeah. She went, we don't want any of those walkie-talkies around here. You put those back in your bag. And she was just quietly doing it.
She told our friend's kid to take his hat off, and he was looking at her like, really? And eventually, he finally thought, oh. But then he put it back on, and he was being
he
was trying his luck, and she was going, I'm not getting you any food until you take your hat off, young man.
Yeah.
Should we go?
You've got to be prepared for that if you're going to 50s prime time. It is part of the shtick, is that they're meant to be like mean ants, but they are genuinely
It's
mean.
not as bad as that. Is it called Karen's Diner in Manchester? That, you know, where they're just kind of like wantonly like rude. It looks a bit, I couldn't be bothered with that, to be honest. Louise says, hi guys, I've actually been here the whole show, but I'm poorly in bed, so we'll still need to listen back to the podcast. Sounds like you had a great time. And Bonnie says, oh no, Louise, hope you get better. Well, Bonnie speaks for all of us, and I hope you get better soon.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys. I've been Lucy. These have been the Rains.
Chrissy's going to be like, what the?
Bye-bye.
76 minutes. Bye. Oh, we need to actually stop it. This one.
Yeah.
Bye.